is Weem coming to you from Takumi's armpit. So what people, Weem coming to you from, where am I? This is Chertsey, I think. It's right down here. So, first video of 2018. Fire Weem is filthy, and this is the reason why I've not really done too much. I'm an all-year biker. I'm an all-weather biker. And as you can see, most of the weather is stuck to it at the moment. So there's a problem with having a bike that lives in storage, so it just makes it kind of hard. I can't just like go out and wash it when I want to. So, but it's due for a wash tomorrow, so I shall do that. But yeah, I thought I'd bring it down here because it's nice down here. With ducks and shit. Oh, actually, I don't know if there's shit, but there's banana skins. So this is the first kind of personal ride, something like that I've done this year. If I've not been like riding to work or something, I've just been sitting at home basically and dicking about on my computer. When the bike gets dirty really quickly, I just can't really be bothered going out riding. So one of the things I've been doing while I've been, or not riding, I've just been playing quite a lot of computer games recently. And it's kind of a double-edged sword, because one of the reasons I started playing games again was because I was aware that my brain was not quite as quick as it normally is, and my hand-eye coordination was going a little bit. So getting back to playing games again, it kind of sharpened it up, which is fine, but or the reverse side to that, which is the negative, is that I have an addictive personality. So I don't know what it is, it's just it's always been kind of around computers and games, and I know it's an addictive trait, but when it comes to stuff like alcohol, you know, I can take it and leave it. I'm quite content with just having one drink and then leaving it at that, or maybe a couple of drinks and that's it. Definitely not addictive when it comes to mind-altering substances, but when it comes to computers and flashing lights, that's got my attention. So I mean, there's been times. Oh, pretty tat. There's been times when I've been addicted to stuff like TV, like way back when. And the thing that broke that was I went away to work on an offshore oil rig for a month, and they all spoke Norwegian. And although they did have TV, it was all Norwegian TV, so I just did nothing. And back in that time, I was also doing martial arts stuff. So it was actually quite handy, because in preparation for competition that I was doing, I could just do my 7 hours a week, 12 hours a day, finish, have food, do some training, go to bed, and repeat that for a month. So it was basically, it wasn't like prison, but it was like training camp. And, you know, I did alright, I did okay. I came away with a medal, you know. But that's when I've realised, you know, you can break the addiction. Another example of how I've got an addictive personality was like when I started doing this, the motovlogging. I was doing it like all day, every day almost. So I went from having a fairly decent number of videos as an output. Now it's like every few months, if that now. It's just because it doesn't have the hold on me anymore. It feels more like work. Not more like work, but it's lost its shiny appeal, shall we say. But you know, as long as there's still somebody out there that wants to hear the shit I want to talk about, then I'll keep making them, I guess. I think part of the trouble with doing vlogging is that I didn't really have anything much to say for quite a while. But there's been some stuff recently that's caught my attention, and that's around the whole Elon Musk thing. I think in the next 10 years they're looking to get to level 5 automation, which is the human has no involvement in it at all. I think automation can be really, really useful, but I think it's also very much a double-edged sword. I mean, to give you another example, would be the Amazon store. I think it's Amazon store, and it's basically a shop front where you walk in, and they've got all these cameras set up, and they know where all the products are placed, and they've got these specific kind of like QR type codes, or it's not QR codes, but specific codes that the cameras can read. Oh, pigeon, it pigeon, and from that it basically knows what you've picked up, and then you just walk out the store, and it automatically bills you. And then there's a bit of it that's like, that's really cool, but then there's the downside of, what about all the people that work in the shops that are there now? And while they're making it easier for people to buy, they're also taking away jobs for people to earn money that they can buy stuff. So basically they're going to automate everything and nobody's going to have any money to buy stuff. It's a great idea, but as far as the convenience, but at the same time it needs to be carefully balanced so that they're not removing the customer. It's a bit of the same way with, and like I was saying with Elon Musk and the automation, just sneaking you. With automation, they're looking at doing automatic. They're looking at doing driverless lorries. But if they take away all the drivers, the haulage drivers, then again, that's a huge workforce that they're taking away. You'll still have the need for mechanics and I guess electronic diagnosticians. Woohoo! That's my big word for today. So you'll still need all that kind of stuff. But as far as actual drivers go, they're taking that away, and a lot of people that will come out of colleges or universities are looking to get experience or even just a living wage just so that they can start to get their foot in the door, would look to get a job that's maybe waiting tables or stacking shelves in a supermarket. And if they take that away, then what are they gonna live on? So conundrum. Yeah, it's dangerous. And I think it's a bit like the people say about the whole divide of company directors and the workforce, and the directors make so much more money. And while that is true, you need both. You need the leader to steer the ship, but you also need the people to do the work reliably and do it well. And when you take away that workforce, you're just left with a bunch of people steering, and people that may not know how to steer a ship end up left floundering. That's a really weird analogy. You know what I mean? Not everybody's cut out to be a leader, basically. So, and some people are very happy grafting away. I mean, look, I'm the same in that although I've run my own company, it was self-employed. So effectively I was steering and rowing. I don't know about the strategy that's required, and I don't know, it's not something I've done, but you know what I mean. Some people are not cut out to be leaders, in the same way that some people are not cut out to be grafters. They're better at doing one or the other. So I don't know, it's going to be a delicate balance in our future, I think. That was a bit serious, wasn't it? Sorry about that. See, this is what happens when I don't get out and ride for a while. I don't get time to air these thoughts. So, sorry. You're my victims. Another thing I noticed recently, I was watching the TV the other night, and I noticed that the weather presenters, they kind of look like they're doing Tai Chi. Or at least the UK weather presenters. In America, I think they're a bit more karate. But in the UK, they tend to be a bit more Tai Chi. When it's more like, oh, wind in from the west, and I give rain to you, sweeping in from the east. Ah, find peace and upgust from the coast. Imagine them trying to do that in MMA. Some nut job coming in with a black belt in jiu-jitsu and some weather presenter there with their suit on, giving it all the clicking buttons, trying to get them to, it's like a dodge button or a block button. I see that they've also got a new lineup of bikes as well, coming out 2018. Ducati's done a V4. It's kind of gone a little bit over my head. Everybody's kind of like, oh, it's a Ducati V4, and I'm like, yeah, okay, good, So I've never ridden a Ducati, so, and one of the reasons I'm kind of put off by them is as long as I've known of Ducatis, and I mean, I'm going back in the days of the original 916. Everybody was raving about how amazing it was, and it's so slim, and the way the bike puts the power down in the corners is amazing. And then they bring out a new one and they go, yeah, the last one was really shit because of this, and this, but this one's amazing because of blah, 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 blah. So I've always been put off by Ducati because there's always something wrong with them that nobody kind of says because they're all too cut up in the whole Ducati hype. But they're all just so expensive now. And they're saying that like the R1M, or the R1 or whatever, it's 18 grand. Or no, 19.1 for the R1M. I mean, when I bought my R1 way back when they were new, I bought mine for like 8,200, brand new. I mean, yeah, it's going back quite a long time. And it wasn't really until about 2010 or 11 that the prices really started going nuts. I mean, when I bought this, I bought it used, about a year and a half old, and I got it for just over 7. So when you think that, like, the new bikes are 18, if I was to chop this in for a new bike, I'd get maybe 5 from a dealer. So I'd have to come up with 13 grand. It's like, f*** off. I don't know how much the new Fireblades are. I think they're about 15 or so, but still, it's like, say it's 15 grand. I've got to come up for 10 grand for something that's basically it's the same as this, but with 0 miles on it and ABS. And it's maybe a little bit quicker. It's got electronic business in it. Might have a quick shifter. I don't know, bikes are just too expensive for me now. Too expensive, which is a real shame. Old school Aston Martin. How do you pronounce that? Do you call it Aston Martin or Austin Martin? Because that's one of the things with living with a lady of Indian descent. It's always funny going over visiting our family, and they talk English. A lot of them were born here, but they still speak in their native tongue as well, especially when they're talking to their elders. And they're from Gujarat, so they speak Guji. And it's just funny hearing them like talking in their accent, and then all of a sudden they'll throw in like a Microsoft. And it's like, what? I mean, that's fair enough, it's a brand name, but some other stuff is like Getter. It's like, what? I don't know, there's always regional ways of saying things. And a good example is the Husqvarna. Some people, especially in America, they call it Husqvarna. But if you listen to the adverts from Husqvarna, they actually call it more like Hostrana. It's very different, and they're in the native tongue.
Husqvarna.
And there was a thing when, like, because I came obviously from Scotland. When I came down from the west coast of Scotland, because I am born and bred in the west, although I may sound soft in my accent. There's Adidas and Adidas, and it was kind of weird hearing people say it. And another one is Peugeot and Peugeot, meaning the same thing, but it's like public transport. The English will say bus. I'm gonna get a bus. Oh. Whereas in Scotland we call it a bus, because there's a fucking U in it, and not an A. Not B-A-S, it's B-U-S. B-U-S. I've just realised that I'm going to Box Hill. I didn't actually intend to go this way. Okay, let's say we're going to Box Hill. I'm on autopilot. It's where my brain's telling me to go. Suck my dick. So there you go. Slurry. Sorry down there. It smells like perfume. Someone in there's a bit OTT on the Chanel. Anyway, I think that's a good time for me to wrap this up. I'm sure you're tired of my shit. I'm kind of in two minds on to whether or not to keep going, doing vlogging. If you actually want me to keep going, then hit me a like below, please. Let me know that you actually think it's worth it. Subscriptions, I don't really mind. Come or go, whatever. Do what you like. But if you give me a thumbs up for this, if you'd like me to continue vlogging, then if the thumbs up outweigh the thumbs down, then I guess I'll keep going. I guess. Right, well, until the next time, people. We might. How do you pronounce this? I'll try that again. How do you pronounce that?